Why you should improve psychology, your psychology. Now, psychology is probably one of my favorite, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of my favorite topics. And I love psychology. I love learning about human behaviors, learning about why people do certain things, why people manipulate, why people beg, why people are poor, why people are rich. I just love learning the psychology behind things. And like if I had my chance to go back to like school days and stuff like that, I would study psychology and like I'd be so passionate about it. The only problem is like public schooling, they don't really teach you what you need to know and stuff like that. But I guess they teach you what you kind of like the base level of things. But I'm so happy that I get to speak about it today, and hopefully someone at home can gain some value. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. So guys, I got my notes out today. Got my notes today, guys. So you know you're gonna get gems. So let's just get straight into it. So your psych, your psychology, your psych, it literally defines you. You are who you are today because of your psychology, because of all the actions that you've taken, because of all the decisions, the thoughts you've made, and then the actions you've made after those thoughts. You are who you are today. I am who I am today because of the actions and the decisions I've made. So the first thing on my list, guys, is environment. Your environment, your surroundings, your upbringing, whoever you was around when you was younger, growing up, whoever you met and started like getting close with, relationship partners, etc., etc., whoever you are in the environment with, the things you are around. So like everything, literally your pillowcase, your bed, the floor you walk on, your clothes, the house you live in, your room, your toilet, your like literally your kitchen. These are all part of your environment and they all make a massive difference to your life. And if you surround yourself in an environment that is, let's say a dirty environment. Let's just say you live in a dirty environment, like your room's not clean or you never clean your room. Like the last time you cleaned your room was because you was forced to, and that was like 6 months ago. Jesus, like, God forgive me for you. But like some people, like their rooms are just so disgusting, and that affects your psychology because in your mind you're just thinking, oh, my room's messy, let me just go do something stupid. Like I can't be bothered to take action in this. Like your mind is, think about it like this: your subconscious mind literally knows everything, but your conscious mind only can navigate like the few things that you're thinking about in your mind, like currently, like right now in this very moment. Subconsciously your mind knows that your room is dirty. Your mind knows that, like, oh my days, these clothes are all on the floor, these socks, blah blah blah. I need to do my laundry. I need to mop, hoover my room for the people that have carpets. I need to like put my clothes in the right place, like the right cupboards, etc., etc. I need to clean my work desktops. I need to clean my laptop, and I need to dust out all the things. I need to maybe spray some Febreze to get rid of certain smells, maybe open my window so there can be freshness coming in. And all these things literally just take out some stress off your subconscious mind. The more you clean, like the more you keep your environment tidy, the more you improve your psychology. And then when you get into a conversation with someone, your subconscious mind is not thinking, oh, I wish I cleaned my room this morning. I wish I did my bed this morning. So if you want to alleviate that stress, if you want to improve your psychology, the first thing you can do is improve the environment you're living in right now. If you can just focus on that small step and just make sure every week I'm changing my pillowcase, I'm changing my bed sheets, I'm doing my laundry, I'm like, keeping my room clean, nothing's on the floor, no socks, etc., etc. Just that small step can improve your psychology massively. And I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. The next thing on my list in still environment is, of course, just having things that, you know, you might rush to. So like if your room is dirty and like you have a lot of things that are like dopamine, um so like a PlayStation, like a game console, it could be portable, it could be like a, you know, a big one, maybe a laptop that can access games, maybe you have like a computer, an iPad. I don't know what you have, but all these things that could be like, you know, dopamine vices. So like cigarettes, vaping, all these things. Like I'm not perfect. I've done some of these things in the past. Like I still play games today every now and again. I try to eliminate it completely out of my life. But like all these things, like just visual, like having it visually there will affect your psychology. Let's face it. Let's face it, you're gonna affect your psychology because in your mind, one, your room is already messy. So you wake up and you're like, oh, cleaning my room's gonna take too long. And then you got your like computer, your PlayStation system, your Xbox, whatever you use to play games or whatever you do like to just waste time. And then maybe it's most people it's their phones. Like you have your phone and like you're just like, oh my days, I just wanna watch this whatever YouTube video, entertainment. Yeah, keep watching my YouTube video because I'm like actually trying to help people. But like you just wanna you just have so much dopamine junk around you that like you can't even rewire your mind. You can't even clean your room because you have all this junk around you that's literally depleting your energy. So it's taking away from your energy. And then before you know it, you don't have no energy left. You don't want to shower, you don't want to clean your room. You can't even do the basic things like go cook a meal. Instead you go order food, or like you go buy takeaway, or you go buy junk food in the shops. And then these things, like, you know, they start to stipulate, and then guess what? Your subconscious mind, you're feeding it these things. You're telling it, oh, it's okay to have a dirty room. Oh, it's okay to eat junk food. Oh, it's okay to, you know, have socks on the floor, and you know, it's okay to be on my phone at night, like just watching constant reruns of things that you've watched already in the past. It's okay to, you know, play games for like 8, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, because your subconscious mind has been trained to do this. And it all links back to your psychology, the psychology of things. So remember the decisions you make, because it all starts from your thoughts. If you think about it, everything starts from the thought. That one thought that enters your mind. Maybe you wake up in the morning and then you get you maybe you touch your phone and then instantly a thought goes to like a video or something you was watching last night. And then you have a feeling, like you feel like, so it's the thought and then the feeling. So you feel, oh my days, that thing was so good. And now that impulse gives you the action, where now you literally unlock your phone, and the first thing is you do is go on watch that show, whatever you go, you play games, whatever, that feeling of excitement that you get. Some people that are successful, that feeling could be like going to work, going to the gym. Imagine you could change that. Imagine you changed, instead of like wanting to play the games or wanting to, you know, watch the reruns. Imagine you had the the thought in your mind that like I need to go gym, and then you feel like you have that feeling. So the thought in your mind first, I want to go to the gym, then you feel like you want to go to the gym, then you jump out of bed, and let's say you've already made it easy from the last night, like you had your clothes ready for the gym, everything, like you had your bottle of water, your skipping rope, everything was ready, your padlock, so you could put your stuff in the gym and stuff like that. And then you just wake up, all you need to do, literally all you need to do, is just go have a shower, brush your teeth and stuff like that, take care of your hygiene, and then that should take like 10 to 15 minutes. Jump in your clothes and then go gym, because you made it easy, you've made it fun, like you've made it easy to do, so therefore there's no like loopholes or like leeways, as opposed to the other guy that he keeps feeding himself these games and this junk stuff. And so your environment, I'm not gonna lie, I can't, if you can't improve your environment firstly, then it's gonna be almost impossible to improve like your mental health. Because I could tell you, oh yeah, go meditate, but then if your environment is like dirty and like you're just breathing all this dirty like dust, and like you won't even be able to meditate for like 1 minute because your environment's messy. Your mind is clogged with like stupidity. So go take a drink of water, pause this video, and go clean your room. All right. So the next thing on my list is communication. So I think if you improve your psychology, you can improve your communication skills. So of course, eye contact. If your psychology, if you have a good psychology, if you if your psych if your psych if your psych is to a good level, then you'd be able to hold eye contact with people. You would have learned, or you would have developed the skill of, making eye contact with whoever you're speaking to. The same way I'm looking at you right now, I might look away like every now and again just to make you feel like I'm a human being. Like I'm not just gonna be here like just looking at you, staring into your soul, not blinking like an AI robot. Like still be human, but making that eye contact for like a long period of time, almost to like a point where you make that person feel uncomfortable, and then you look away. You can tell like when people you learn this as you improve your psychology. Like, oh yeah, this person definitely feels uncomfortable, but like it's a good uncomfortable. It's like, oh wow, I haven't met a person that's like held eye contact for such a long time. Like this makes me think that this guy is very masculine. Or like if you're a woman and you hold eye contact, like you really feel her presence there. Like she's almost like, like this woman holds authority, or this man. So eye contact is very important, and of course, a lack of communication. So of course, if your room's messy and stuff like that, and you have brain fog, like just because your room's messy, you could literally have brain fog just because your room's messy. All that dirt that you're breathing in and stuff like that, all the things on the floor, it just causes your subconscious mind to stress. So your subconscious mind starts stressing. When it's in a stressful state, of course, like to deter that, to counteract having like a stressed mind, is of course like meditate, like breathing deep breaths through your nose and stuff like that. But when you do have like this brain fog and in the morning and stuff like this, just a messy room, you start developing a brain fog where like you literally, when you're talking to someone, you can feel like a thudding in your head. Like I've had it so many times where like I'm talking to someone and I already kind of have like a decent psychology. So I know, oh, I need to make eye contact, maybe just have a smile, maybe show them like I'm nodding and stuff like that. But like my brain is done. Like I can't even function. Like it's almost like, have you ever had a time where you've gone to you've stayed up a whole night? So you've stayed up the whole night, then it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can hear like the birds chirping. Go try have a podcast feeling the same way you do when you when you've just had like an all-nighter. Yeah, go have a podcast, a 3 hour podcast, and try to maintain eye contact and smiling, and you won't be able to do it. You'll probably end up sleeping in that podcast. It goes to show that like your sleep hygiene is so important. Sleeping, like keeping your room clean, is so important. I know I kind of like spoke about sleeping, and then I tried to make it seem like sleeping and keeping your room clean are the same thing. They're not, but they do work with each other. Like if your bed sheets are clean and your room's clean, then you're gonna sleep well. Like you're less likely to be affected in your sleep. But anyway, I kind of just went on a tangent there. So eye contact, getting rid of that brain fog. So making sure you sleep, getting meditation as well can help with brain fog. Communication is definitely important to improve your psychology. When you're in conversations and you're communicating with someone, you're able to read their non-verbal communication cues. So NVC and non-verbal communication, this just means anything that the person portrays. So like right now, this is all NVC. Like, this is all NVC. Like, I'm responding, but without saying anything. It's just basically your body language, anything that's a non-verbal like a non-verbal cue. So without me using my voice, I'm still communicating with that person just without using my voice. Anything that has to do with that is your non-verbal communication. And when you improve your psychology, you're able to notice these non-verbal cues so much more rapidly, like so easy. That's like, like people that practice, like, them illusionists and stuff like that, like they can read people's body language so well. And like, of course, if you're like a, trained in like sales, like if you've been in sales for like 10 years, you can read people's, like, especially if it's like one-on-one, or like, if you're in a group, but physically, like you're physically there and you've done sales 10 years, like physically communicating and like trying to sell products or services to people physically. So I've had a little bit of experience in this, but like if you've had that experience or skill, then you can read people's non-verbal communication skill, and then you know how to respond. You can tell that person seems confused, but they're like saying yes. They're like, you can tell, okay, he's confused, let me break it down, let me take baby steps so he can understand, and then I just need to articulate myself better so he can process everything I'm saying. Maybe I'm going too fast and I need to slow down a little bit just so he or she can understand what I'm saying. Maybe I need to speed things up, and maybe they're in a rush and I can tell they're in a rush and I need to hurry up so I can, land on what I need to, this amazing thing that I can sell them. So like learning people's nonverbal communication cues is so important, but can be improved if you improve your psychology. You will start noticing these things if you improve your psychology. So I think that's very important. Maybe you might not see it as an important thing, but I do truly believe like noticing people's MVC, and also like, I did here as well, learning to use your tone. So learning to use the right tone of voice and stuff like that. I made a previous video where I was like talking about something like this, where like I kind of change my tone. I change the way I interact with people depending on the person. So like if it's a girl, then I'm gonna be very, very calm, seductive, eye contact. I might like uh I might, what's the word? When you like squint. I might squint a little bit just so I look a little bit more seductive on the eyes. I might lick my lips more often. Okay, and this is a girl I might like. So just to clear that out of the way. So if I'm talking to a girl that I like personally, then of course I'm gonna be very like seductive, and like my mannerisms, my NVC, my tone of voice, everything will be like matching. So I'm like perceived, because remember, perception does mean a lot. The way you're perceived is so important. And some people, they don't even realize how they're perceived or what they're doing to be perceived by other people, and that's so important, perception. So right now, like if I was to go out to maybe a club, whatever, party, whatever it is, like a social gathering, I would make sure that like the way I'm dressed, the way I'm standing, when I'm speaking to people, my presence, eye contact, like I'd make sure that I'm at least perceived as like a high value man. Because like you want people to perceive you as a higher value. You don't want people to like think, oh yeah, he's just a bum, or like you don't want people to think or to disrespect you just because you carry yourself in a way that like you hold no respect for yourself. I mean, for me personally, I want to be respected. I don't want to take BS from anyone. So if you're doing something that I don't like, I will tell you, and that's just how it is. So definitely learning how to use your tone of voice. So that's the end of communication. Decision making is the next thing on my list. So your decision making skills. So I know I mentioned earlier that your thoughts are literally the first thing you can do before you make an action. Some people do act before thinking, but your subconscious mind still thinks. Like it still thought it out before you did it. So I think if you can improve your thoughts, if you can improve managing your thoughts effectively, then you will make a whole leap less mistakes in your life, because you thought it through, and you know that this thing is going to affect you if you do the wrong thing, and you know this thing will affect you positively if you do the right thing. So in most, if not all situations, you always think things through. Or sometimes you know, like if you have a business proposal, someone's offering you a specific service for a certain amount, it might be very expensive. Instead of being that type of person that says, you know what, I'm gonna do this straight away, you tell that person, you know what, I'm gonna sleep over it, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you on my decision. And then after you sleep about it, maybe you might think, oh, maybe there's better decisions out there and I could maybe get a better price. Then you come back to this person, if you give me this and that for this amount, then I'll consider your offer. And then you never know, that person might just be like, you know what, you seem like a great person, I'll give you that plus this. And then you're like, win-win. As opposed to the first guy that just takes the offer and then he's just getting paid shillings, and like they don't respect him because he doesn't know what he wants. And eventually when he accepts that offer, he's like, oh my days, I wish I never took it. Like, you don't want to live in regret, but you also don't want to, yeah, you just never want to live in regret in general. But you also don't want to like make decisions that like you look back at and you're like, if only I just thought about it. All it takes is like a 5 seconds, 5 minutes, just thinking about that thing that's being proposed to you. Of course, in certain situations, you have to think like literally fast. But imagine if you take more time to think about things just overall, then in those decisions where you have to make like a split decision in a small amount of time, you will probably make the right decision, because 90% of the time you make that right decision. You think correctly, like you make the right choice. So if you just keep improving your thoughts and your decision making, that will improve your psychology. I also wrote that you need by improving your decision making, you get to understand yourself more. So of course, improving your psychology allows you to understand yourself more. The more you improve your psychology, the more you realize I have tendencies to get addicted. Like maybe I have an addictive personality. Maybe I'm too nice to people. Maybe I give out too many gifts to people and I need to reduce it. Maybe I'm too friendly. Maybe I need to work on my time management. You start noticing things about yourself. Maybe I'm messy. Maybe I could improve my education. Maybe I could improve my communication skills. The more you improve your psychology, the more you communicate with people, and the more you like read and just start learning more about yourself, or yeah, implementing those things that you've learned like online, on podcast, etc., etc., the more you start to develop that psychology. And then now you're just like, you just understand yourself so much more better. That's why I made a video previously, like how to like why you should be alone like more often. And it's because being alone allows you to detach from everyone else, and then you just start noticing things about yourself. Now, I'm not saying be lonely, because being lonely is kind of like a stressful state, and I would never advocate for anyone to be in like a stressful or a negative like mindset state, because that's you're just going downhill. I say detach from everyone, detach from society to improve yourself, and then you come back like a stone. You come back as a stone, and now no one can people can chip you, people can chip that stone, but no one can break it. Right now you're probably living a life where every day you go out, you come home with half a stone left. You start off as this massive big rock, and then you come home and you're just pebbles. You're just broken, like you're just broken down. You want to go out and be like that rock. People try to hammer you, but they can't chip you. They can't do nothing to you. They can't break your shield. You want to be that type of person. I want to anyway. I want to be around people like that. So decision making, and as I mentioned, everything is based on your decisions. And also The better you get at decision making, the better you get at improving your patience. I think patience is so important. Being able to be a patient person is so important. Having patience, but also like running fast towards things that can improve your life. So like you're still running fast towards these things, but if you fail, you accept that you failed and you get back up. You put back on your shoulder guards and your knee pads. You put on all your armor. You equip your sword, and then you go back out there and you try again. And if it keeps failing, maybe you try something new, because maybe that thing wasn't meant for you. But I truly believe everything was meant for everyone. No, well, anything is meant for anyone. Anything is meant for anyone. Not everything, because you can't have everything. Let's accept it. But anything can be for anyone. So you can be good at anything you want. You just need to keep failing at it. If you're not good in the beginning, it just means you're not good at that thing. You just need to keep improving. Some people are like literally so good at certain things and they don't practice. Like I see some people don't go gym, but their body is like strong as fuck. Like, do you get it? So just learn to accept failure. I did make a video about this previously. Embrace failure, and you can improve. You can improve your, your decision making skills. Also, try to be a balanced thinker. I think this is so important. So being a balanced thinker means that let's say you're someone that you have a few friends and you get into like very logical debates. If you can be the type of person to understand how majority of people would think and also how I would think, and then you can separate and detach and make a balanced argument, like, okay, like I'll give you an example. I do understand where you're coming from, and this is what you're saying, and I can see how this can benefit you, but I think I can see. So I used to get into a lot of arguments in the past, and it's because I was so adamant. I was always adamant that I was right. I was always adamant that I was right. And who knows, maybe 50% of the time, 60, 70, 80% of the time I was right. But you're not going to change that person's belief if you're so adamant about what you're right about. How about this? Maybe the next time you get into an argument or a debate, listen to what the person has said, repeat to them what they've said, and let them say, okay, yeah, you understand where I'm coming from. Then acknowledge the benefits, acknowledge why they see it the way they do, and then after all of that you can say, okay, you know what, I've heard you out, but I do truly believe, from my own personal opinion, that from doing this and that, this has helped me in this way, rather than being like, you're wrong, this is the right way, I don't care what you say, this is the right way. No one's really gonna, do you get, like, no one's gonna try to listen to someone that's like trying to force them to believe like the wrong thing in their mind. If you believe something is wrong and I come here and I tell you this is right, you do it or you're stupid, you're not gonna listen to me. You're just gonna be like, yo, this guy's so offensive and rude. Or report him, like report his YouTube account. Or yeah, I'm I'm gonna unsubscribe. Like, you'll probably unsubscribe because you're like, this guy's just diminishing me. And I'm not gonna lie, we do need tough love in today's generation. And I used to show a lot of like tough love and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's not the right approach. When you look at it from a psychology perspective, the right approach would be understanding where that person's coming from. Maybe even like kind of agreeing with them. Like, I can see where you're coming from. You know what? To a certain degree, I do, or I can come to terms with that. Like, if you completely disagree, then yeah, don't agree with it. Like, but like you can understand where they're coming from with their point of view, and then you give your perspective, and maybe you could break it down into facts for them and stuff like that, and then leave it as that. Just come to agree to it. If they don't want to accept if you're right or wrong, or if you're wrong, accept that you're wrong. Be like, you know what, maybe I've been seeing things wrong all my life, and you could be right. So I'm gonna change my mindset on this, and I'll start implementing the way you like that perspective into my own life, because we all learn from people every day, and no man is wrong or right about anything, like, completely. So I think it's just better, it's safer to just, if you just want to improve your psychology, because you don't want to get negative, like, responses from people. Most of the time when you try to get into an argument, or when you're adamant about something, it just leads to an argument, and they're just going to start arguing, getting negative, shouting at you, putting you down and stuff, and then you're just going to retaliate, and it just becomes a cycle, and you become this negative person, which I run away from. I hate negative, like, people that are, like, negative. Not that I hate them, because remember, going back to psychology, I understand why they're negative, why they're being negative, because it could be environmental factors, people they've communicated with, etc., etc. I understand where they're coming from, but I don't want that to be around me, because then it can change my subconscious mind. Because remember, your subconscious mind picks up everything. I don't want that to be. And at the end of the day, like, all the knowledge I've gained is from God. Like, I'm not gonna come here and sit here and say, oh yeah, I've gained all this in. I'm so smart. Everything for me personally is from God, and, like, I'm grateful that He's given me, the knowledge and the wisdom, and He's allowed me to purge on forward, like, to pursue, educating people and stuff like that. From His, like, He gave me this knowledge. At the end of the day, He kept me alive. If He didn't wake me up this morning, I wouldn't be here making a video. And this video is getting very long, so I'm gonna just cut down to the last two things on my list. So the last two things, the first one is memory. So you can improve your memory by improving your psychology, and the ways you can do this is, one, eliminate distractions. So I mentioned this, like, earlier in the video, where, like, getting rid of, like, things that might be a vice, or, dopamine, things that, like, kind of, like, just, suck your energy. Anything that sucks your energy in a bad way. Like, if you're going gym and it's sucking your energy, that's good, because you're going to get stronger in the future, and you're improving your health. If you're cooking meals every day, that's kind of depleting your energy, but it's good because it's going back to your health, and you're improving your health. So, like, it just depends on what's sucking your energy. Like, if you're playing games, to a certain degree there are some benefits, but, like, the negative the disadvantages just kind of outweigh the advantages. I think it's only good if, like, you're playing for 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe. Okay, so, like, I'll tell you the only way, like, gaming can be really good. Gaming can only be really good if you play for a short amount of time, if you're playing with friends whilst communicating with them, and if possible, if you're streaming as well, so, like, you're making money from games and stuff like that. Perfect. And then, fourth of all, if you're, like, if you're literally actually having fun, so, like, you separate, maybe you play on weekends, like, you're playing on a Saturday, and, like, you're playing in the weekends with your friends, maybe you're not streaming, but, like, you're having a great time. Perfect example of, like, why you should play. Like, if you want to play games in that way. At least I do play games. I'm a big man and I still play games. They are very addictive. I play, like, RuneScape and, like, League of Legends. So, like, these games are, like, so, like, addictive and stuff like that. But I do usually just play them to, like, get my mind off things, and, sometimes just to communicate or socialize with my friends, because I can't really, like, go out at certain times, because I don't want to just be out, like, just doing rubbish things at night. Not on that perspective, like, I love going out, but, like, if it's a certain amount of time, and, like, I'm tired after work, and I just finished gym, and I made a YouTube video, and I've done this and I've done that, I've worked on this, and I just want to chill and, just not think about work, like, anything work related. So I'll just either watch like, some YouTube entertainment videos, or just play some games with my friends. Wouldn't advocate you to play games, but, like, if you do play games, just be mindful of how you play games. The next thing on so this is literally this is to improve your memory, by the way. So, like, obviously how have I started talking about games? But yeah, eliminate distractions, improve your focus. So like when you're doing things, it could be anything. If you're studying, improving your focus, eliminate those distractions, stay in that moment, finish that task, take like breaks, and just be focused, like actually be focused in that moment for the entire 30 minutes, 60 minutes, however long you've like designated to study and like focus on that thing. Like if it's like a business idea, like if you're doing Shopify, like if you're going to spend 30 minutes to build your website, spend that 30 minutes to build your website and then move on to like maybe take a break and then go back to it, etc., etc. I think taking breaks is very important. And the best way to take a break usually during work is like probably just go outside, take a breather, stare up at the sky for like 5 to 10 minutes, taking like deep breaths through your nose and then come back in. That's a great way to, that's probably the best break you can take because you're out in nature. Maybe there's no nature around you, but you're outside, you're getting some fresh oxygen, you're staring, gazing upwards, which actually like revitalizes you. There's a lot of science behind it. I don't really know the science behind it. And rehearsing to improve your memory, you can rehearse. This improves your psychology. So usually, I'll give you an example. So I do sales. When I'm speaking to people, I usually ask for their name, which is a nice thing to do. And I keep repeating their name during the conversation just so I can remember their name. And that means a lot to a lot of people, like remembering someone's name during a conversation. That would mean a lot to me. Like if someone stopped me and they just kept saying my name, like Paul, oh, so that's amazing, Paul, like, oh, how long have you, like if you just keep mentioning my name, it does mean a lot to me. But yeah, a great way to like improve your memory would be rehearsing. So like repeating, reciting that specific thing. So like if YouTube, me coming back to these YouTube videos, making more YouTube videos, I'm rehearsing, I'm improving my communication skills, I'm improving my memory, etc., etc. And obviously I'm learning I'm learning from these things as well. So it's definitely improving me and my psychology. And the last thing on my list, guys, is your health. My health, your health, our health, family's health. Improving your psychology will improve your health. Now, going back to what I said, everything starts off as a thought, then a feeling, then an action, then a result. So if you improve your health, if you improve your mind, if you keep educating yourself that I should eat the right meals, I should exercise, I should speak to more people, then eventually your psychology is going to improve because whatever you put in is going to improve what you have up here, in here, your blood, your body system. You'll just function better. So improve your health. I'll give you some examples. So you can exercise, doing cardio. uh I would say roughly like 180 minutes a week of cardio can like massively improve your psychology, because of course your brain has blood around it. It has so many like working organisms, and by like exercising and doing cardiovascular activities that can pump blood to your head and just improve your mental health and psychology. And then the next thing is understanding risks, which leads to better choices. So if you understand the risk, if you understand like smoking causes cancer, eating burnt food causes cancer, you know eating certain oils, like fried foods and stuff like that causes cancer. Taking too much sugar can cause me to, ruin my blood performance and actually give me diabetes, or eating too much fat. Like if you understand the risks of things and you learn about like the reasons why you should avoid certain things and why you should take certain things, then it's just gonna lead to better choices, guys. Let's just face it, you're just gonna make better choices. You're just gonna make better choices. If you make better choices, you're gonna, you know, improve your life. I'm human, I still make mistakes, but I try to make sure that I make more like impactful things in my life than I do things that deteriorate my life. And yeah, we all have seasons where we go through stuff where that impacts our life in a negative way. But like I said, we're just humans, and it's about, you know, just the atomic habits, just building up small habits and making them bigger. Eventually, those things form to compound and become a strong habit, and then eventually we just become that thing that we've defined ourselves as because we took that step 10 years ago. So don't make changes for like 1 month. Don't make any changes you want to make now to improve your life in like 1 month or like 1 week. Oh, I'm gonna eat healthy for like 1 week just so next week I can look better. No, don't ever do that. Improve your health now so in 10 years you can look better, in 5 years you can look better. Always develop a mindset of like a long, like abundance, like long-term mindset. Have a mindset in the future, like 20 years from now I'm gonna be in this place. I'm making these videos not concerned. I don't care if I get 5 views next week on this specific video. I care if I get like 100,000 subscribers in the future, because this video and all the other videos that I've been making, eventually that consistency will lead to that success. So I don't really care about that. I just know I have a goal and I will achieve it. And it's just literally putting my mind to it and then taking the actions. So I hope you've benefited from this very long video. I don't know why. I was literally planning this video to be like 10 minutes and it's probably like 40 minutes. So hopefully you found some value. It's been your boy Paul Khadar. I love you guys all, and we out. Peace.